Peace. This is a Meat and Potato Sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is keys to spiritual parentage. Now, this is a video I really want to be crystal to the viewer because I get a lot of questions about spiritual parentage. So here it goes. Now, when you want to learn who are your spiritual parents, whether they be so-called from another planet or star seeds or even daemons, the key is patience. You know, one of the greatest things I like about chess, it teaches you patience. So demons and other worldly beings, they know when you're ready for something. That's why I like this scene in the movie Creed 2 when Adonis went back to Little Duke and he said, "Remember when you told me I wasn't ready?" He said, "You were right. I just didn't want to hear it." So don't think because you're becoming proficient in magic, you may be 35, 45 years old. But of course, many of these spirits or deities, they're like millions of years old. So yeah, you know way more than they do. So I want to tell a story that I really haven't talked about, but for the family, I'm going to do it. And I hope it will give you a different perspective, or a proper one, I should say. I remember when I was dating this woman, this was ages ago. And I remember when, intimacy was about to kick in. I'll just say it like that because I'm a gentleman. And a voice came into her head because she was involved in Berea. And he was like, "Well done, my son." But that wasn't it so much as that. She has started seeing these beings flying around, but they were like skulls. And then that's when she flipped out. I said, "Oh man, the intimacy done went from like a 9 to like a 4. I said, "Okay, you the Kobe Bryant of magic. We gonna pull this one out." So this is what she did. She did something that one of my students, the fact check king, shout out to him, would have been immensely proud of. She went to a psychic, and she was a witch in her own right. This is what she said. She said, "That voice you heard, that was Lucifer. He's Lucifer's son." So then this piqued her interest. And she said, "Well, what about the skulls or the beings I was seeing from there?" And she said, "Oh, those were his guardians." He said, "Just like you have angels or your ancestors watching over him, they're his protectors. They're protecting him." So what Lucifer did, he used her to initiate that message. Now, of course, I'm not someone going looking for that and pounding my chest out. So later on it was confirmed, like, yeah, did that. But this was the other one. She said when she was working, because she worked in the home care field, and she said a portal opened up and she saw a visual where some demons were coming through. And they asked her, "Who are you to be speaking his name?" And that's when it just, everything was really starting to go left after that. So there's a myriad of ways you can find out who your spiritual parents are, but that's how I found out about him. Now later on, through divination, I found out that these so-called demons were from another realm. They were ascended vampires, and they were dispatched by Nama. Now, those that don't know, Nama is the sister of Lilith, and she's also part of the shells of the husk of the Kalipoth. Because you got to remember, this is how it works. There's 33 paths that you could take. There's 22 tunnels, and then there's 11 shells or husk. So think of it like that. And then one of my names, He Who Must Not Be Named, which I did from numerology, turns out to be 33. So you can utilize any so-called demon to really, if they feel that you're ready, they will let you know. But the key is patience, because the reason that they do that, if they give you too much information too soon, two things are going to happen. Either you're going to stop dealing with magic, or you may be driven to mental instability. So that's why they take their time with that. But you can pretty much go through that. And the longer that you work with magic, oh, they're absolutely going to let you know who your parents are. Or they will put someone in your life that will give you those revelations. But again, patience is the key. And another thing is that, and a lot of people don't know this, when you come here with so-called physical birthmarks or whatever, and your energy centers, the chakras, You also come with markings, energetic or etheric markings that look like sigils, and they can be anywhere on your body. So that was communicated to me as well. And mine are so-called on my arms. And it lets people know exactly who my parents are and what line I descended from. But again, like I said, takes a minute, learning this. And you have to understand, everybody's not going to like you on this path. There may be some angels and there may be some low-ranking demons. Look at it like this. Here's an analogy. Let's say you work in a job for 25 or 32 years and you know you about to retire or move on, or you just done gotten long in the tooth. Then you got to train your replacement. Wouldn't you feel some type of way about that? You got to remember something. There's a pecking order everywhere. There's a pecking order in the organization, at a job, and then on the other side. And you got to look at it like this. Imagine you cook a hamburger and some french fries and you about to watch the game, and all of a sudden the burger or the fries say, you better not dare bite me. You will flip out. And I'm going to give some beings in here, the archons. You're their food source. That's what you are. You're their food source. So imagine say, oh, that whole feeding on me and thinking that I'm just going to be your buffet. Nah, we're going to put an end to that. They're like, oh, well, somebody's finally waking up. The sleeper has awakened. So this means now you just put a target on your back, which means that the traps that they had before that, worked on like, 85 to like 95% of all the trogs, they're going to get more creative when it comes to you. And they're going to spread the word. So the whole thing is what they did before. No. New strategy. So that's what they're going to do. But you can really go that route and find out. Like I said, this is why I wanted to really communicate with you about that. Does everyone have spiritual parents or beings on the side? No. And you can't let your ego get in the way. I remember one of Tiamat's sons when, we had a great association. He resides in Canada now. And he said, I was so arrogant back then. I thought just being Tiamat's son was enough. But somebody was more humble and he got into a magical battle. And he said by his own volition, he lost. He lost the contest. And that taught him a lesson. Sometimes that, okay, yeah, you're somewhat of a big deal, but there's other people that are big deals out here too. I know another occultist, his father's Moloch. Let that sink in. So she was just like, you are the son of such and such. I'm like, I know, right? So it can come in a myriad of ways. Don't have no expectation. People may be used. And like I said, she was somebody involved in brewery. So there you have it. So I want that really to sink in. And I hope that you find this message, of great timing. Share the video, please. I know if you share with Charles, they'll be like, see, I know he was evil. I know it. Call the people with the white coats. Sorry, not going to work on me. So with that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Warrior Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.